Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ghassan Softa, and today we're going to talk about cyber attacks on medical devices and their mitigations. We're going to give definitions. We're going to talk about risk on different categories. We're going to give real case examples on devices that has been hacked or prone to be hacked, mitigations and prevention measures, and eventually we will discuss some recent development on this area. So the definition is obvious because any device that could be connected to a network, it has probability to be hacked. And within these days technology, almost all the medical devices are connected to the hospital network somehow, and it's allowing the data to be transmitted from and to the devices, and thus they are prompt to be hacked. So speaking of hijacking forms, it could be by crashing the system, stopping and restarting the system, accessing functions that only should be accessed by authorized personnel, and changing the parameters, and eventually, and most importantly actually, modifying dosage that should be given to the patient. So when we talk about risk, we actually talking about three kinds or three categories of risk. The first one is service risk, and the second one is organizational risk. The third one, and the most important one actually, is the patient care risk. So in the service risk, we talk about like the whole sum. If a system of a hospital or any particular medical device has been hacked, it means there will be interruption of the service. There will be delay and rescheduling and redoing the scans, and if the scans need injection in a CT, for example, or MR, or biopsy in like an ultrasound or angiograph or anything, so there will be an interruption in the service given to the patient. And in the organizational level, we're talking about the reputation of the organization will be damaged, and furthermore the cost will be doubled actually for the reputation. Let's say if hacker requested like a ransom to decrypt the link, or like give a description of the situation. And also if there will be a downtime to the system, so rescheduling the patient, and these are cost, because the more patients you will reschedule or cancel, the more redoing the labs, redoing the scans, all of this are failure costs. And the most important one is patient care risk, because as we will see in the next slide, in the next examples of some medical device, that the hacker could actually jeopardize the patient life, because he can actually change the dose that is given to the patient. Also, losing the patient data or medical history is really frustrating, because as I just said, you have to redo the labs, and some important history there will be lost, and so on. Examples of the cyber attacks happened in 2019. Group of research that in Singapore, they discovered that any device or some technologies that they are using Bluetooth low energy, they are vulnerable to 12 cyber attacks that could affect them. and some of the devices use this technology are infusion bombs and some pacemaker and also glucose monitoring, and they are medical devices that are using the Bluetooth low energy technology, which giving them the chance to transmit the data between two devices. And actually it was solved by an update given by the manufacturers, and it was solved, alhamdulillah. The second one, however, is Medtronic insulin pump. This, it was a very serious one, and also in 2019 and 2020 the FDA recalled more than um, 40,000 devices and classified the recall as class 1. And this is very serious, because if you keep using the medical device, it will harm the patient, or actually it will kill it, because the hacker can actually change the dose of the insulin given to the patient, or decrease it, or even he can stop the insulin. And if he does that, the patient will die. So the manufacturer, they had to pull out all the medical devices given and then replace the patient with new ones. And the last one is the Medtronic implantable cardiac devices. The FDA classified it as class 2 recall because the hacker could actually modify and gain unauthorized access to the telemetry. Update and patches has been given and installed by the manufacturer, and the problem has been controlled. Mitigations and prevention measures. So basically the hospital and the manufacturer, actually they need to work together, because the hospital need to outsource the cyber expert. They need to segment connected medical devices and keep monitoring of all the connected medical devices in the network and continuously investigate any suspicious activity. Of course, they have to eliminate the physical access to the IT department and the servers, and they have to encrypt, they have to use encryption algorithm to protect patient data and so on. They have to update and keep updating the medical devices and all the operation systems. They have to be up to date, just to make sure that no further cyber attacks could be done to their system. For the recent development, actually, the FDA are taking this issue very seriously. They issued guidelines on pre-market submissions for management of cybersecurity on medical devices. They also launched Digital Healthcare Center of Excellence to foster digital health innovations. And one of the topics they always talk about are cybersecurity. So development are updating, the manufacturer are working on this area, and they taking it very seriously during the design stage and so on. Do you have any questions? Thank you.